What up? What up? Welcome back to another episode of the Crown and Stitch podcast. I don't know why I'm doing this with my hands clapping and shit, but hey, it is what it is. I'm doing it. I hope that it doesn't steer you away from listening, watching, hanging with me and the homies, man. My name's Nick. I got Keith and Dexter with me to talk about some fitteds. This is what we do. This is how we live. So what's good, fellas? How you guys doing?
Man, doing good. Ready to episode 3 of talking some more hats with you guys. Can't wait.
I'm doing great, man. My squatchy is doing this thing. You know, we're ready to go.
If you don't know what a squatchy is, head back to episode 2 and make sure you gather that knowledge. That is such a random thing, and I'm still dumbfounded by it. But anyway, we basically got a show today. We're going to talk about some of the places, people, Instagram accounts, just where we find fitteds information. There's tons of stuff out there. Sometimes it's kind of hard to just find like what's real, what's not, what matters, what doesn't. Not to say that everybody doesn't matter, because I definitely think that everybody can do some cool shit in life. And I don't want to get too political and go down that path yet. But before we do all that, let's just talk about like a recent pickup. What do you guys got?
It's not super recent. This was a pickup from Sports World. It had to be at least a few months back, but it was somewhat recent. This is, I think, called the Japanese Bonsai Garden.
Damn, that's great.
Yeah. It's I like it because it's kind of that infrared color too. So if you got some infrared 6s or anything like that, it's a nice little combo.
Definitely. I respect it.
So I can't remember if I wore this for the first episode or not, but it's a Kansas City Athletics from Hat Heaven. But so if I did, then I will go to this bad boy right here, San Francisco Giants.
Nice.
Spring training. Little I like this G, I hate that cursive little lowercase G, but then you got your regular SF logo, and you got your cactus. Yep. Cactus League, right?
Yeah, I thought that so I didn't scoop one of those up because I wasn't sure about the back of it, because the back of it is mesh, right?
It's like a trucker hat.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
And it's fitted too, huh?
Yeah. It's the first time I've ever seen that.
I don't think I've ever seen a mesh fitted. Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Oh, I have another one somewhere.
But it's got to be a good. I mean, it's a good summer hat, right? Like having that mesh back is going to be nice when it's all hot outside. So, let's see. This is one of my most recent pickups. Mitchell and Ness Hardwood Classic NBA 50th anniversary Sacramento Kings. This is basically like pink underbill. This is basically like one of the brightest hats I think I've ever seen. And I just couldn't pass it up. I was actually in the mall for the first time in, I don't know, a long time. And saw it sitting there and just, it's one of those things. Like we're gonna always talk a little bit about sneakers probably, because like I have a podcast called the Sneaker History Podcast. That's where we all met.
Nice shirt, sir.
Oh yeah, I'm wearing a shirt. But one of the things that I love about fitteds that goes back to my sneaker stuff, right? Is just being able to walk in and see some random shit and be like, yo, that's cool. I'm going to walk out with that. Throw that on when I get outside, right? Because you don't get to do that with sneakers anymore, right? It's like almost impossible to find the shoes you want in the mall because it's just everything sells out. So.
How's that fit though? Because the Mitchell and Ness hats, they fit a little different than the new eras.
Yeah, it's like I would say like a touch bigger than the new eras.
Oh, okay.
For me. Yeah.
Is that a good thing?
I mean, honestly, like I can't remember if I picked up another Mitchell and Ness recently or not. I have my eye on another one though, so maybe in a future episode I can compare. I thought the Mitchell and Ness hats were more snug before for me.
That's what I usually have.
More snug.
Yeah,
they're snugger, they're kind of more shallow. Like they sit up they don't come all the way down to like the ear on me, at least.
Yeah.
I feel like the bill's super flat on some of the Mitchell and S too. You got to kind of work them a little bit to get them to fit right on the head sometimes.
Yeah. So do you guys? Let's talk about that a little bit. Fitment wise, on fitteds, like usually if I don't like the way the bill fits, that might just be a hat that I make completely always wearing it backwards. Like I don't do that very often, but like it's kind of my middle ground of like I'm not willing to let go of this hat, but I'm also not willing to let it sit on the shelf and get dusty. You guys have any of those kind of, I don't know if that's a quirky habit or not, or if it's just me, but
you know what? I feel like very similarly with Mitchell and Ness hats. I feel like they fit me better backwards, and I'm not opposed to rocking them backwards, but until I get the brim kind of curved the way I like, which it takes some work a little bit with the Mitchell and Ness stuff for me at least. So I feel like that's one where they do tend to fit a little bit better backwards, at least on my head.
I used to wear my hats almost exclusively backwards. That was a time. And once you just said that, I was like, damn, I can't remember the last time that I wore my hat backwards for an extended amount of time. Sometimes I put it back if I'm like doing something and don't want to get it like in the way. But walking out the house all day with the hat back, I think I'm gonna try that. People are probably looking at me weird, like, what the hell?
Well, so here's the thing that I know that anybody that's going to listen or watch this podcast or show is going to relate to. If you ever walk out the house without a hat on, it is like, I mean, this is not the right term, but it feels like you're being born again because it's so fucking bright outside without something shading my eyes, man. I can like almost not even handle not having a hat on when it's sunny outside because it's like my eyes just are not used to that much sunlight. Exactly.
Vampire status.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the other thing I think we should do, we should probably talk about the fitteds that are on our heads because we all got some heat going on, I think, right today. So what are you guys rocking?
Go ahead, Keith.
I got on this was the Lids. Let me get in front of the camera here. The Lids Rust Belt. This was my favorite one, the Cubs one, and
let me say that patch again.
Had to do some. There's this side, the '90s All-Star patch.
Damn,
that's probably
Ryan
my favorite
Sandberg.
patch that I see.
Yeah, Ryan Sandberg.
Yeah. And I hit the local Lids. When they dropped in, they were kind of limited on the team selection. They had A's and Giants and very sparing sizes too, and then they have the Dodgers, Yankees, the bigger market teams and the local teams, but had to do a little bit more digging to find the one I wanted on these. But to me, it's a super dope hat. It's a lot of the stuff that Lids has been doing lately. They've definitely been stepping their game up.
They have, seriously, because there was a minute there it was looking bad for Lids.
It sure was.
But they were getting outdone. It was like bottom of the eighth. Like, what y'all gonna do, man? They got a hit. But I got a Hat Club. It says a Hat Club OG pen. I can't remember exactly what that was about because probably half people who have this pen aren't OGs in the hat game. But I don't know. What is that? Let me take this off. What we got there? 50th anniversary. No?
Yeah. Oh, that's clean.
35th anniversary. 35th anniversary. This is the Intergalactic Jelly hat.
Like nice too. Is that the Space Needle on the side on the side patch?
It sure is.
Yeah. That's clean.
My hat's all thrown off. But yeah, super dope hat. It came with that box.
All right.
Shout out to Hat Club.
Yeah, taking a lot more money from me in the past few years. Like my investment in hats in let's say 3 to 5 years, the last 3 to 5 years has been probably not at sneaker level in my life, but definitely pushing up there. I'm wearing here. Let me see if I can do this. I'm wearing West Side Love is a brand out of San Diego. Nothing really on it other than this. But I'm too plugged into the mic right now to take my hat off. But it just got the little West Side with the heart in the middle. You'll probably hear more about them from me because they're just some good folks, and I support them. Hopefully, they'll support us with the podcast in the future as well. But you could definitely check them out. Today, though, we want to get into, I guess, a little bit more of where all of these addictions come from, right? We already talked a little bit about Hat Club, obviously a go-to for a lot of people. But what are some of the other sites, Instagram accounts that you guys are just kind of constantly looking at to see what's coming next?
You want to go ahead, Dexter?
Cool. Yeah. So my favorites to hit up if I'm missing on a Hat Club hat and I'm down and I'm feeling bad. You know, that Andre Nicotina hat is just, you know, so close yet so far. You know, it's in the fucking shopping cart. And they're like, nope, out of stock. Topper Zone.
That's a
Topper Zone. I've never gotten a hat from them that didn't fit fucking perfect. I know it's luck, but they come through every time. Hat Heaven, where I got that KC hat from, they send me text messages when they drop shit, and I'm immediately like, ooh. And I can usually get my size and the hat that I want, so I appreciate the availability, you know?
Yep.
For me, lately, Exclusive Fitted, they've been doing a lot of stuff on IG. It's exclusive.fitted. They came out with a mystery pack last Friday. Well, depending on when you're listening to this episode, but you know, it was a collection of different, I would say maybe like 10 to 15 hats, and you put in your size during the drop, and if you hit, they sent you one of those and you don't know which one you're getting. So that seemed pretty cool to me. My fitteds has to be up there. It's not always something I would wear. They come out with a lot of dope stuff and a lot of stuff that I really like, but it's like, for me, it's the level of creativity. You know, it's just minor league hats, the different packs and hooks that they're doing. It's next level creativity stuff. And also, one of my go-tos to look for where I'm going to be purchasing my hats or trying to is Hat Crawler. Like, if you're into hats and you're not following Hat Crawler on IG, I don't know what you're doing.
But you're doing it wrong, that's for sure.
Doing it wrong, man. You know, they'll post every upcoming drop. Maybe not everyone, but they keep you plugged into what's going to be coming out from all the different sites. I don't know how they do it. It must be like a monitor or something. But if you want to know what's going to be coming out, definitely get plugged into Hat Crawler.
Yeah, I definitely co-sign that one as well. It's funny because, like, you know, it used to be the only place you found a lot of this information was Strictly Fitteds. Like, that was like the go-to spot for me for a long time, where like they kind of were the aggregate of all these places pulling all the information in. But Hat Crawler has kind of become like the default for me to just like check in and see what's happening during a week or something. I want to say like, yeah, the Topper store is a good one that I'm probably regularly checking. Obviously, like, you know, if you're into fitteds, you want to be paying attention to Hat Club. The Lids hat drop account is always a good one to make sure you're following. I've been following a site. I think they're a store, but Just Fitteds is like a store. I forget where they're at, but like a lot of
I think they're over in Europe. I think.
Yeah, like I think Just Fitteds, and then another one that's like over in Europe somewhere is like Fam Caps store. I think you might have mentioned it too, like in a previous episode, but Sports World, which is like Sports World 165, is a good account. Last one on my list is going to be Views from the Vault, man. Like, you know, they've got like a big Discord community, great YouTube channel. If you want to check out like just some dudes talking hats, and got a lot of access to stuff, so you get a little bit of sneak peeks and previews and whatnot. That's probably the main ones that I look at. I don't know. Are there any more? I mean, you could always go like ECAP City. That was like a little bit more old school one that's not as like popular now, but they still drop some good stuff.
Yeah.
Another one that I've been really looking at lately too is Capsule Hats. Recently they dropped like a South Park collection, and it was 4 different Colorado Rockies hats, and you know the hook was to each character. You know, you had the Kenny, the Stan, the Kyle, and the Cartman, and I don't know, it was super cool to me. There's a Capanova, USA Cap King.
Capanova.
If I go down the rabbit hole, if I start going down the rabbit hole, I can list for days because people are just coming out with a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if is that a good thing or a bad thing? Like, there's just so much good shit coming out that like you can't even be paying attention to all of it. You end up missing stuff, and you're like, damn, I didn't even know this store existed, but they just got this exclusive that now I wish I could find. And then there's no real place to find it, right? Like, there's some hats on eBay. There's some, you know, Hat Club, maybe some lids. I mean, lid stuff doesn't resell the same way the Hat Club stuff does right now, at least. But there's not like a place to go find this stuff aftermarket, right? The way there is in sneakers, where it's like, oh, there's StockX and GOAT and everything's on eBay and Stadium Goods and, you know, Flight Club and all these places. So is it, how are you guys feeling about that? Like, is it good that there's so many different people getting these exclusives?
I like it. You know, I mean, as long as the quality of what they're putting out is good. Like you said, I do kind of get upset if I miss something and I end up seeing it down the road a couple days later once it's sold out. But, you know, I try to stay as plugged in as possible. You know, if you go on my Explore page on IG, it's almost strictly fitted hats and sneakers that pops up. So I wouldn't say it's a bad thing as long as the quality's there and as long as, you know, people are putting out cool stuff. I feel like you can't go wrong with too many fitteds.
I mean, I agree. When it comes to hats, I think there's not an issue with the quantity being so crazy high. Because like you said, the quality is pretty good. I have a couple hats that I got that came in and they were no bueno from some random sites. Maybe a few that we mentioned, but, you know, I'm not going to, you know, it is what it is, you know. But it's not like, you know, Jordan 1 mids or nothing like that, because, you know, they come out with anything. They hit the random button on those.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I guess like too, like for me, you know, I like the idea of finding like new small shops and boutiques and, you know, interesting folks from around the world that are doing this stuff, right? Because I think to our conversation about the Ox Pack, you know, introducing people to maybe a new hip hop artist to them that they didn't know about, or a you know, or a club in New York that they didn't know about, like I didn't know about. Those types of things always happen through these smaller places and you know, up and coming stores and online shops and stuff. So and I've definitely I'm in the same boat. Definitely got some weirdly shaped fitteds from certain people. But, you know, I say that lovingly because a majority of what I'm buying ends up being a New Era. And I guess, like, you know, that's a kind of good segue into like our random fact, tidbit, useless knowledge, but obviously not useless in this case if you're in the fitteds. But the New Era deal, apparently they first signed in 1969 with Major League Baseball. But they didn't have the exclusive rights until 1993, which I remember when that happened because I was in high school at that time. So from 1969 to 1993, not everybody on the field wore the exact same hat. So you might have one player in a, you know, like a random Rawlings hat or whatever brand. And then you might have one player. in a New Era hat from a different team. So I just think that's fascinating. Like Keith brought this up, in between recording, and we were talking a little bit about it, but it's just fascinating to think about the fact that, like, in most of our lifetimes, we don't remember a time very much that's could be two teams having two different hat manufacturers on it, because everything is so branded, right? Like I just saw a thing on not related to fitteds, but baseball or basketball jerseys this year or last year was like the first time that their city jerseys, like the entire league was Jordan brand for their city edition jerseys. And that was like the one way that Nike was getting the Jordan logos on teams that they wouldn't normally have the Jordan logo on. Like, all right, Nike.
So what was it before? You could because I thought Nike had the Nike makes all the jerseys now, right?
They make all the jerseys, but like the cities, I guess, or the teams themselves maybe decide, or those partnerships are specific to the teams, right? So not everybody had Jordan until it might have been like, I can't remember if it was 2021 or 21-22. Like one of the last two seasons was like the first time they introduced it to be like, okay, everybody's going to get a city edition jersey, and all those city edition or whatever special edition they call it, all those are going to get the Jumpman logo in place of the swoosh on the shoulder, which, it's kind of reminds me of, the New Era logo on the back of the hats, right? Like,
yeah,
you used to, it's funny because like you used to want that on the hat, right? Like, I mean, it's still important to me, but
can you let Keith back in?
It doesn't show him on here.
It says that he's backstage.
On the other link. There he is. There we go. All good.
We're back.
I just drew a blank, but what's the baseball logo called?
Batterman.
Yeah. Well, like the Batterman not being on like, let's say, half the teams or a third of the teams, just such a weird thing to think about. Random fact that probably only, what do you call, like, are we hat heads now? I mean, I've always been something like that, but like you call a sneakerhead.
I'm down for a hat head.
Sounds good to me.
Squatchy head.
I don't think I've ever heard squatch. I don't think I've ever heard someone who's into hats having that like sneakerhead like moniker, so
yeah.
Oh, I got one. A super brim bro.
Super brim bro. All right. Yes. I love that, man. I love that. We need to get like actual fitteds made with that. Like have like our take on the Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
That would be dope.
Oh man, let's see. What do we got? Where are we at here? What's left? Totally.
Kicks and fits.
Kicks and fits. Oh yeah. What? So, me being, I like to think of myself as a top tier San Francisco Giants fan, like a diehard to a certain level. And I feel like coming on to last episode, Dexter kind of just like came out full force with those shattered backboards. So I'm going to just jump into my kicks and fits. And same thing, shattered backboards, right? Got to do it. If you're a Giants fan, you need these.
Yeah, if you ain't got those, then man, I don't know.
And I mean,
ooh,
take your pick of Giants fitteds, right? Like, I mean, I know we're all kind of Giants fans, so we probably got tons of them in the stash. But this one, I don't even know where or when I got this, but I think this is maybe like the on field from 2019, 2020, something like that. But that's my kicks and fit for the day.
That's nice. That's nice.
No matter what, with the Giant stuff, can't go wrong with the shattered backboards.
That's nice. All right, I'll go next. I got also some Giant stuff, but talked about this on the last episode. This is the St. Patrick's Day Got a little Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Hat Club, St. Patrick's Day. Tell it goodbye.
The stick.
All the different greens, and you come through with the green 13s,
Yeah, that's good.
It doesn't match all the greens, but it matches that green right there. Boom.
Yep.
I love the Batterman on that one too. The different shades of green on that. That's crazy.
That's a cool feature. Yep.
Emerald City, baby. That's all I got.
All right. So since apparently I'm the only one without a pair of shattered backboards over here, and I don't have the 1,000+ or whatever crazy price they're going for now, I still had to bust out a Giants fitted. This is the Liz Crown Royal.
Damn.
Yeah, that is. I need to get that.
Oh man.
The cool thing about this one too is I literally was able
shoes
to
he gonna pull out
right into the store and pick that hat up, which that's always a good feeling when you can walk in, pick it up, hold it, buy it, and walk out.
Yep.
No purple on the shoe, but I figured there was enough black and gold.
Oh man,
the Griffey ones with the metallic gold.
Yep.
Griffey,
I love Griffey's, man. Yep.
I love them.
Jesus Christ.
I know a lot of people say they're big and bulky or whatever, but as you can see from the LeBron 3's last episode, I'm a bulky shoe type of guy. So
that's what I'm talking about.
They are bulky, but they're so good, man. They're so good. I mean, look, I'm getting old. I'm getting lazier by the day, by the minute. Like, I don't want to put any effort into actually having to put my sneakers on. So most of them get laced about like halfway up, and then the rest is just kind of as loose as I can get it to be able to slip it on. But there are some shoes that just get the exception. The Griffeys, the Jordan 1s, the Iversons are kind of that same way for me. So, like, other than that, I don't go too far with the crazy, like, heavy or bulkier shoes. Although I love the style, I just am too lazy to put them on at this point.
Got to have a few exceptions, though, right? Got to do it.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, and Griffey's one of those guys that, like, look, if we're talking about fitteds, we can't not talk about how important he was for us all as youngsters to be like, oh shit, wearing your hat backwards, hitting home runs, like, gold chain. Like, I mean, he was everything that you wanted to be as a teenager, basically.
Seriously.
He was that dude.
Yep. And that swing, man.
Perfect. Effortless.
Yep.
Like he was like just playing around and hit the ball 450 feet. Like,
right? Yeah. It's funny too, because like you had given him the nickname the Kid. Whoever gave him the nickname the Kid, it's perfect, right? Because that's what it always seemed like. He just seemed like he was out there having fun no matter what. And I don't mean any disrespect to our guy Will Clark, but Will was serious, man. He's the other guy in my life that had that swing from the left side that I was just trying to emulate my entire childhood. But he was like ready to roll all the time, like
he wasn't playing no games, man.
Yeah, he was out there to just whoop on you.
Yeah, he was not joking around. Like it's like one of my favorite memories and like stories is like when they were in the playoffs against the Cubs and Greg Maddux is, they're on the mound talking and Will Clark's like, oh, fastball's coming. I see his lips moving, right? So that's why now all the pitchers go like this when they're talking, all because of Will Clark.
Yep.
It was the pro lip reader over there.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Oh man, that's some good memories for me too, man. That was like the time, Kevin Mitchell with that crazy behind the head accidental. I overran it, but I reached back and caught it barehanded catch. Like what? Guys like Candy Maldonado, just old school Giants, man. I love that stuff. But
Robbie Thompson,
yeah, Jose Uribe, Royce Clayton. Yeah.
Oh, Royce Clayton. Yeah.
I haven't heard that name in a while.
I'm sure as we continue on with this show, we're going to have some serious baseball names pop up because all of us being baseball fans and playing baseball back in the day, And then we have all these teams too, right? Like, I think you said it already. I don't know if you said it in between or on the episode, Dex, but like you see, you know, the patch on Keith's hat, and it's like, oh, Ryan Sandberg, man, right there to that moment. You know, that's the
first
thing I love
think
about Fitteds, man.
Brings you
so
back.
Good. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's about time for another episode. You know, like let's let everybody know how they can find you and connect with you outside of this show. And 3 of them in the books.
You can find me on IG at Keith the Sneak with 2 Ks. And like I mentioned last episode, always in the Sneaker History Discord.
Smooth as eggs. It's right there on everything. I'm not going to mention like I did last one, but every social media platform that should be on there. PlayStation 2, like, yeah, everything you can think of, you can find me with that S. And if it's not an S, it's a Z because somebody got me to it, but whatever the case. Also, I have my own podcast, The Industry Special. It's on Spotify and YouTube, Apple Podcasts. Check me out. I'm also in the Sneaker History Discord. I'm not as active, but I'll be lurking.
Yeah, in there enough to have it cost you money because you see somebody posting fitteds that you need to cop. Basically, that's the problem with this. That's the problem with this whole community thing, right? Everybody tries to get you to hook up with, you know, things that you don't really need in your life, like more shoes and more hats.
Yeah.
Anyway, my name's Nick Engvall. You can catch me in the Sneaker History Discord as well. You can find me at Nick Engvall on all the platforms. Most importantly, make sure you follow at Crown and Stitch on all the platforms. We're loading up content everywhere. You can catch us everywhere, connect with us everywhere. Always under at Crown and Stitch, all spelled out. Catch you on the next episode, though. Peace.
Peace.